County Board Convention. I'm delighted to be joined by the Treasurer of Cavan County Board and the Assistant Treasurer, Martin Cahill and Tom Moore. I suppose the number one thing, Martin, looking at the finances, there's a surplus again for the second year in a row. I suppose that puts a smile on everyone's face.
Yeah, look, we've had this year and last year we've had good surpluses. We've had surpluses previous years, but they wouldn't have been sufficient to meet our loan repayments. But the last number of years we've seen good surpluses, and we've restructured our loans. So we're in a good position, a much better position than we would have been in years gone past.
Yeah, looking at it, the income now 1.8 million for the county board, expenditure up to 1.5 million. Looks in around the same as it was last year, slightly up I think, but overall it's becoming a massive business.
It's a big business, all right. Yeah, I suppose we try and approach it as a business, but I suppose the GA is slightly different in the business in that you do come across anomalies, you come across situations that maybe if you're in your working environment you deal with it differently, but there's sensibilities and emotions and stuff like that you don't always see. But it is, as you say, it's a big organisation with 1.8 million turnover. There's a lot of small businesses don't have that. We do have the luxury, or we as treasurers have the luxury of having the support of staff in Kingston, Bradley Island and Liam there, and they support us a lot. And then we have a great support of a network of people within the county who do gates for us and look after that. So we're happy with that, we're blessed with that, and we're blessed as a county that we seem to have a great way of raising money. Down the years we've continued to raise money. We're very good at raising money, we're fairly good at spending it as well, unfortunately, but we are good at raising it.
Yeah, I suppose looking ahead, Tom, there's a big bill maybe coming down the line, but it's a necessary bill. It's the new Centre of Excellence, or the expansion of the Centre of Excellence in Kingspan Breffni, but I think there's good work being done to make sure that it doesn't cripple the county board either.
Well, yeah, the Centre of Excellence, proposed Centre of Excellence that we have coming. We're lucky in the sense that piece of ground came to us at the time it did, funded by Crow Park for us, or a grant aided by Crow Park, and that's a big help too. It means that really all we have to do, which is not that easy to say, find the money to progress with it. But we're not in any really big hurry with it, is to finish it. Like we will start it and we'll move along as we have the money. But as Martin was saying, fundraising in Cavan is seemingly it's everyone's pastime or hobby, but they all seem to enjoy doing it for us, and as long as it lasts, we'll work with it, and we'll be cagey in how we spend it, but we'll make sure the job is done when the time comes.
Yeah, and it's definitely been done right. Looking on top of the noticeable maybe absentee from the report was there was a recent fundraiser, the corporate night. So the turnover was pretty much even higher again, I suppose.
I suppose that the corporate night occurred on the 3rd of November. Our financial year ends 31st of October. So from an accounting point of view, we had to put it into this year. But that will have returned in the region of 100,000, which is ring fenced for the development project. So the development project is going to be in the region of 2 million. Between the grant deal, as Tom correctly said, that we've got from Crow Park to the good office of our president, that was 250,000. We've 150,000, or 100,000 rather, made. So that's 350 out of 2 million that we have raised. So we've 15% of the target reached, and we, there is good work being done by the Friends of Cavan in New York. Connie Riley, who was here tonight. They have a commitment that they're going to raise $150,000 for us next year and for the next 3 or 4 years. So if we had that and a similar sort of a venture in Cavan, England, Dublin, we would hopefully get to fund the project at not putting any financial burden on the county. We as a county board, we probably can't put a financial burden on the county anyway. Our clubs are committed to us and they've stood by us. They're giving us €3,000 a year, each of the 40 clubs, and we couldn't, if we went for bank borrowings or stuff like that, we'd have to have the commitment or the backing of the clubs. We could not go to ask the clubs to support us. They're doing very, very well as it is. We could not ask them for more support than what they're doing.
And I suppose just finally, before I let you go, lads, the one increase in expenditure was the running of the county teams. But when you look at it at first, you say, well, there's something I can throw up Martin Cahill. There's 70,000 up, but there was the addition of the hurling team, which is massive for Cavan. We do need to expand our games.
Oh, we do, but I just. The full 70,000 wasn't spent on the hurling team there, to be fair. I very much want to put on record that they were very easy to manage and very easy to mind. The 70,000 relates to the new funding model that has been introduced with the GPA, where players' expenses increased from 50 cents to 65, which is 26 to 27% of an increase. That, and then there's a subsistence grant that the players get of €20 per week for every week that they're in training. So that comes to 46,000. So that's a big part of it. Then our minors progressed so well, our under 17s were involved, as you correctly say, our hurlers were involved, and they'll be involved much more next year. So the challenge for us is to make sure that we have the funding in place to make that happen. I suppose, as our chairman said, another challenge is to make sure that there's a conveyor belt of hurlers to come forward and play for Cavan. It'll be. I've no problem with 2 or 3 guys from Cahill or wherever they're from coming down to play for Cavan. That's okay if they backbone 11 or 12 guys from Cavan playing hurling. If we have a team that's going nowhere and it's full of old men, no disrespect, I played when I was old myself, but that's not going to do hurling any good. We need to be getting from the ground up, and we are investing in that. We have a hurling coach here, Keith Green, is doing a lot of work. So the investment is happening there. We have to see the shoots becoming grasses and that. So that's what we hope to do.
Well, look, hopefully so. And congratulations, lads, another great convention. Well done.
Cheers, Damien.